gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following program contains mature content. Any opinions expressed are those solely of the host and any guests. Listener discretion strongly advised.
And welcome to another campfire sit-down called Weiss Thoughts. On each episode of Weiss Thoughts, I open up my mind and tell you exactly what I'm thinking. Now, mind you, it's not for the faint of heart, and if you're a liberal, you may be crying some tears. But hey, it's a free country, at least for the time being. If you want to check out more episodes of this program and so many more that are offered, just go to purplepitstudios.com. That's purplepitstudios.com. Search for Weiss Thoughts and all the other shows there we offer. Coming up on this episode of Weiss Thoughts, folks, the perfect storm is coming together for the United States, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. There's some rough times ahead, and if you're not prepared, you're going to be hurting. It's all coming up on Weiss Thoughts. Don't go anywhere.
Wearing his sunglasses indoors just because he wants to. Let's get back to the program. Here's your host, Terry Weiss.
Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to Weiss Thoughts. I'm Terry Weiss, and I'm so glad you decided to spend some of your valuable time with us today here on the show. Thank you for that. And hey, if you like the show, podcast, program, whatever you want to call us, would you do us a favor? Leave us a positive rating and review, and share us with your friends and subscribe. Sounds good to me. All right. Well, welcome one and all to Weiss Thoughts. Again, I am Terry Weiss. Excuse me. No, it's not COVID. It's not RSVP. It's not ABC. It's not 123. It's not the bird flu. It's just a good old-fashioned dry clearing your throat. Howdy, one and all. I hope all is well with you. And as we get together here yet again around the virtual campfire, and as promised on the opener teaser for the program today, I want to talk to you about the crossroads that I feel the United States of America is in right now. It's important, folks. We've got a midterm election coming up, and I know you hear the buzzwords all the time. You hear the people and the other conservative commentators and any political commentator say, it's the most important elections. You've got to get out. This is pivotal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that being said, however, folks, this is really important. We have seen, not only seen, we have experienced and are continuing to experience firsthand the destructive policies of President Bumbles and his goofy administration. I mean, it's just like, you know.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Yes.
Yeah. The Biden administration and all his left-wing radical communist Nazis are systemically and systematically one to create a time wreaking havoc on an otherwise beautiful nation, which is the United States of America. And this guy, these people, we've got to get rid of them. They must be taken care of and voted out. We've got send them back packing. They got to go. Gas is at record levels. Food at record levels. Inflation overall, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is at record levels. And the media is gaslighting like never before. They're just kind of going along for the most part with them. The White House, I mean, what's it? Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's the press secretary? Not Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jean-Pierre Canary, whatever. I don't know. She looks like a Q-tip with two of those big googly eyeballs painted on top of it. You ever say this dingling broad talk? Now I say, talk about, she's put in there to fill a quota, okay? Woman, black, lesbian, those are the first three, and probably idiot. Those are, the quotas to fill, and boy, she fits them all, especially the last one being idiot. She's just as inarticulate and clueless as the bumbler, stumbler, mumbler in chief. I can't, to this day, you can call me an election denier, you can call me a conspiracy theorist, you can call me whatever you want, because that's your right as an American citizen. But I cannot, for the life of me, fathom how. Well, I know how. I mean, I just don't believe that the 2020 elections were all that they were supposed to be. Do with that information as you will. There's too many inconsistencies. There was too many, quote, air quote, coincidences happening late at night on that election. And I'm a firm believer that there was some type of fraud perpetrated on the American people. Now, what it is, I don't know. There has certainly been plenty of irregularities at many states. And you know what? It's my right to question. I'm an American citizen, goddammit, and it's my right to question an election. It's my right to question my government. It's my right to question authority because I am a free person, supposedly living in a free representative republic. It's your right to question it. I'm staring right now at a news article here from Newsmax TV at the time of the recording of this program for you today. Hillary's conspiracy theory: GOP already plans 24 election theft. Right-wing extremists have a plan already in place to literally steal the next presidential election, and they're not making a secret of it. The one-time First Lady, ex-Secretary of State, and should-be convicted felon and failed presidential candidate insists in a video clip that has been posted to Twitter. She's still pissing and moaning, her old dried-up vagina, crying and whining about her getting her ass whipped by Trump. You know what, Hillary? Maybe nobody wants a lying, cheating, scandalous bitch for president. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe, the American people didn't want that. And she lost fair and square. But she's been running around ever since 2020. Or not 2020, 2016 rather. I'm sorry, I have my dates wrong. These left-wing assholes just get me wound up. She's been whining and pissing and moaning since 2016 how the election was stolen from her. No, it wasn't. Nobody wanted a fucking bitch like you for president. That's what it was. Because you're a scumbag. Your whole family are scumbags. I know, be careful, I'll get Hillaried. I might wake up with 17 gunshots and hang myself and then drag myself behind a car, but leave a suicide note. I mean, enough is enough. America needs to wake up. It is time to kick these communist, Nazi, socialist scumbags to the curb in every facet of political office. They have infiltrated and metastasized like a cancer. And it's time, what do you do with a cancer? You irradiate it. You radiate it, you kill it. And by kill it, I don't mean go out, physically hurt anyone, okay? I'm talking about you get rid of it. And the way we do that politically is we vote these people out. We hold them accountable. We take them to task. But the main thing is we exercise our political power by voting. The time, and I've said it on many a past program, for sitting on the sidelines, eating your M&Ms on the couch, or stuffing your face full of your Cheetos or chips, drinking your beer, watching your sports, ladies watching your drama programs and your what do they call that? True to life things on TV and stuff like that. That trash TV. You got to get off your ass on election day for all levels of government and start voting these assholes out. You know, the moms out there are finally starting to wake up because now these political, radical, communist Nazis have invaded the school boards and are trying to teach, 3 and 5 years olds about, trannies and trans shows and everything else. I'm sorry, folks. No, I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry whatsoever. I have nothing against you. Want to be gay? Be gay. Be gay all day long. Walk around and flitter your arms in the air. Sleep with as many of the same sex as you want. That's your business, okay? You love who you love. That's your business. But where I do take umbrage with gay people is when, and especially trans people, when you are trying to indoctrinate, okay? And that's what it is, in my opinion, when you are trying to go into schools, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, have the tranny, drag queen book story hour. I'm sorry, that's indoctrination. And no, I'm not going to change my mind on it. I've got a grandson who's gay. He's 18. He's a gay man, and I'm proud of him. I love him just like I love all my grandchildren. It doesn't make a difference to me that he's gay. And you know what? He's gay, big deal, but he's not militant about it. He's not shoving it in your face. He's just like every other person in society. He just happens to like men. God bless him. But this indoctrination that the LBGTQ ABC 123 community, wants, everyone's got to tread lightly on their fucking feelings. Bullshit. I can call you out just like I call every other member of society who does stupid fucking shit out, and I will. You're not gonna. You've woken up the moms now. Now you got a fight on your hands. And the sooner we get this silly nonsense out of schools, the better. Now, if you want to teach about alternative lifestyles and sex education when the children are mentally ready for it, and 3 and 5-year-old is not, and this bullshit of, let a 6-year-old cut off their cock and balls, or let a 7-year-old girl sew up her vagina and get a pair of balls and a cock stapled on her because she thinks she's trans, or what. Children change their mind on things all the time. And if this harsh language offends you, delete me, turn me off, whatever. Sounds like a fucking you problem. I'm just telling it like it is. When you are a mature adult and can make an adult decision, do what you want with your body. You want to cut off your balls, you want to cut off your cock, you want to cut off your arms and your legs and chop off your head, whatever. You want to do it to your body? Hey, have a ball, man. Far be it for me to tell you what to do. But when you start indoctrinating children, when you start hypnotizing children, okay, with this fantasy stuff that, 5-year-old, oh, you don't want to be a boy. Oh, you don't want to be a girl. It's evil. It's nothing but pure, unadulterated evil. Again, for the record, I have nothing against gay and lesbian people, gay men, lesbian women, what have you, even transvestite people, trans people, whatever you call them. And you got 37. I mean, you got a little bit overboard, gay community, okay? If you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to love a woman, love a woman. If you're a woman, man. If you're a man, if you want to, be a man and dress like a woman, whatever. But now you got non-binary, quad-binary, unbinary, solo-binary, binary, all these different things. Why? Why do we have to have all these fucking... Just be who you are and shut the fuck up, okay? Because, quite frankly, the rest of us here in the general public are sick of hearing about it. And we shouldn't have to tread lightly on your fucking feelings. You know what? You just should be treated like everybody else, as an equal. That's it. No special treatment because of your special class. You should be treated like every other human being in society. Not discriminated against, but not put up on a fucking pedestal either. How's that for common sense, huh, America? How's that? Getting back to the dimwit in the White House, the man who, can't even find his way around the White House. You would think after being vice president for the Kenyan in chief there, back when he had his 8 years reign, that he would know his way around the White House. But evidently not. Here's another story, too, talking about, the pivotal time that America's in and why these midterms and upcoming any election nowadays, any election, state, local, federal, are so important. Historic. Who's to blame for historic COVID setbacks for students? Let me give you a hint there, Sherlock. The fucking government is. Because they closed down the schools for no fucking reason. When COVID was around and was the big thing, they were so afraid kids were going to get... How many kids died from COVID? Honestly, I haven't looked it up, but I don't know of many. I really don't. In fact, children were the least likely to have terrible, terrible problem with COVID. And folks, let's just be honest here, all right? Let's take off the fucking charade. Let's stop tiptoeing around the feelings. COVID was a new form of a fucking flu virus. That's what it was. And it wasn't, I'm sorry, and again, it's just a habit to say, well, I'm sorry if this, I'm not sorry to say it was a fucking scam, okay? A big fucking scam where you saw who the true zealots are when they got some power, man, how they overstepped. I also read another article here as we're doing the program today that a judge in New York City is telling New York City businesses that they must rehire all the people they fired and pay them back pay for people who refuse to get the gene juice shot from the big drug dealers, big pharma. Good. I hope it bankrupts some of these fucking companies because you bent the knee to the Reich. You bent the knee to the new Reich in the United States of America. You acted just like the fucking communist Nazi party, and you bent the knee to them. When you should have stood up and said, no. Judge reverses a New York City vaccine mandate, orders city employee back pay. New York Supreme Court overruled the Big Apple's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Good. Another quick article, bumbling Biden approval rating is down to 40%. Worst president ever in the history of the United States of America, folks. This man has done more damage in 2 years than the 5 worst presidents in recorded history. This man and his administration. Or I'm sorry, this vegetable. I can't even call him a man because I can't even remember his name half the time. And those there that are pumping him up full of drugs or whatever they are to keep this guy going or, putting the strings on him to manipulate him like a marionette, those are evil people and they should be ashamed of themselves. And I'm sure there's a special place in hell for them. This is a very, very, very important time in the United States of America. Just look around you, my friends. Look around you, my fellow Americans. Our rights, they're not being taken away in big gulps. It's just a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. It's like that proverbial line in the sand. Don't you cross this line and I'm gonna stand up for myself. Well, I mean, if you cross this line, well, back up. No, if you cross this line, what's it gonna take for you to stand up for your fundamental rights as an American? What's it gonna take? Taking your guns away? Forcing your kids to get the gene juice so Big Pharma can make hundreds of billions of dollars more? Did you see in the news here, my fellow Americans? Now, if you want the Pfizer shot, if you want to get a COVID shot, it's between $119 and $130 to get the shot. You know, after they raped the American taxpayer for billions of dollars through the COVID scamdemic. Yeah. Now they're just looking to dry fuck you. This is a pivotal time in American history. In fact, I don't think the only other time in American history, since the Revolutionary War, I mean, things are that serious, folks. And I know some of you out there are shaking your head saying, Terry, come on, you're exaggerating, man. Just want you to know some things they're working on in Congress right now. They're working on digital IDs. They want to put forth digital IDs for Americans. You know, these digital driver's licenses where you can do it on your... Oh, it's so convenient. Yeah, it's going to be sold to you like snake oil. And once they get you with that, they say, well, you know, as long as you got the digital ID for your driver's license, well, why don't we put a vaccine passport on that? Oh, that'll tell you where you can go when the next scamdemic comes up. The next false flag crisis we're going to create and, gaslight everyone with. Then it'll be like, well, you got arrested for not paying your parking ticket, so now that's on your digital ID, so we're watching you for that. Your climate terrorists want to import, how much carbon footprint you're using. They're already talking about that in Europe and in Australia, that you're going to get a carbon footprint score. Folks, these are things readily available by doing some basic online research. And I know there's bullshit on there online. There's a lot of bullshit online. Trust me. There's a lot of scams and false things online. But if you have two brain cells to rub together, you can find out this information for yourself and make up your own mind. But there's so much legitimate, good, qualitative sources out there, quality sources out there that you can do your research on and look up. If you don't think big corporations and big government and everything, they're intertwined now around the world, my friends. You know these movies you go to see, these Hollywood movies? Excuse me, where the corporations and the government, work on secret things and, keep it secret from the public. Folks, it's been going on for at least since the 40s and 50s in the United States, if not longer. And now it's just... a lot of it, they're just blatant, just shoving it in your face and daring you to speak up. All the way from big tech censoring people, calling it misleading information with their, Facebook farce checkers. Who are they to decide what is truth? It's a scary time, but it also can be a monumental time in America. You have to vote. You have to register to vote if you're not. I implore you, if you are not registered to vote, please, 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 please get registered and start voting. Get informed. Don't just take the talking head on the television. There's a word for it. Don't take some podcast hosts' word for it. I'll spit it out. Don't take some movie star's word. Do your own independent research and get involved in your community. Get involved in your region. Get involved in your state. Get involved in government. Know what's going on around you before it is too late. There's a few different types of people in this world. There's people that are going to say, God forbid the day ever comes that we lose it all here and we become just like many of the nations in the world that we have no rights. We're just a eat, sleep, shit, work, and produce for the state. God forbid that day comes. But if it ever does, there's going to be people out there going, how did this happen? There's going to be people out there saying, why did this happen? And there's going to be people out there saying, what the hell just happened? Don't be the people that say, what the hell just happened because you just decided to stick your head up your ass and bury it in the, bury your head in the sand and just say, well, as long as it doesn't affect me directly. Because eventually it will. Ronald Reagan said it best, and I've said it on many past episodes of this podcast. The scariest words any American could ever hear in their life is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Government, when it was set up by our founding fathers, was to be there as a cushion, not a crutch for everyone to lean on, not to tell us what to do. Government at all levels has gotten too big, too radical, and too intrusive. We need to get back to by the people, for the people, and by the people and for the people type of governance. They work for us, not the other way around. There's too many career politicians in all parties. There's too many backdoor deals being made, selling the average American down the road for generations. There's too many lies being told to the American people. And unfortunately, the press is just either doesn't give a fuck or is sleeping at the wheel and not doing their job. They were supposed to be the watchdog of things. And unfortunately, they've been infiltrated by radical communist Nazis and they indoctrinate these kids coming out of college, because it starts in the schools. I mean, read all these, there's books by Lenin, Marx, everything. How do you change a society and make it socialist and communist? You start in the schools. You start generation after generation after generation after generation. Indoctrinate. Get them into the cult. We need more free thinkers. We need more people in America willing to question, willing to stand up and say, I don't think so. That's what America needs. But until we get that, we're going to be stuck right where we are. I hope I've given you some things to think about. More serious episode of Weiss Thoughts this time. I'm very concerned for our nation. I'm hopeful, but I'm very concerned for our nation. So let's get out there. Let's vote. Let's make sure that you show up at the polls. Get involved. Start reading. Start doing some research. Start knowing what's going on around you, my friends. And together, we can take back America and make it the great nation that it is and can be and should be and shall be. Until next time, my friends, to be the change in the world, you have to be the change in the world. It all starts with the person looking back at you in the mirror. Make sure you're kind to yourself, kind to others. Register to vote. Make sure you vote in the midterms and beyond. If you want to reach out to me, if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, you can tweet at me at Twitter at Terry Weiss. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/Terry Weiss. Facebook.com/Weiss Thoughts. And you can email me at weissthoughts@purplepitstudios.com. Check out all the shows at purplepitstudios.com, and especially look for the section Weiss Thoughts. Until next time, my friends, take care, God bless you, and God bless America.